Hey, what's going on? It's Quinn here, alongside Nick, and this is our Top 10 video. Top 10 games of 2014.
Get hyped.
Get hyped for reals.
Been hyping this up for a year.
Yeah, for a whole year we've been talking about this.
Well, it hasn't even been a year since we did the first one.
True.
Or last year's. So.
True. But we're pretty excited about this. Me and Nick,
excited as well.
We have very different games this year, which is kind of surprising.
But we don't know what's on each other's list.
Yeah, we don't know what's on each other's list, but we have an idea of how different they are. Because I actually didn't get the chance to play most of the AAA titles this year. Yeah. While you, on the other hand, have played pretty much everything.
Yeah, pretty much everything except for Dragon Age.
Yeah, so it's going to be very different lists here, so hopefully you get the top 20-ish games of the year rather than the top same 10 games.
Yeah, so who wants to start?
I think Nick does.
Oh, I want to start first.
Yeah, you want to start first.
All right. My number 10 is Costume Quest 2.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. It's a Halloween trick-or-treating game, indie title by Double Fine. I just enjoyed it. It took 5 hours to beat, and I did it in one playthrough. Did not stop. Actually, I stopped once to get a snack. But you know those snacks are important. But it's a fun game. I actually have a review of it if you want more information on it, but I think it deserves my number 10.
Alright, so my number 10 is going to be pretty surprising. It's actually Destiny. Yeah.
I did not see this coming.
Yeah, so it's actually Destiny, and we've been thinking about this game pretty much all year. Well, not all year, but this half of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was a lot of upset, a lot of disappointment. But after thinking about it and thinking about the actual list of games I have played this year, it is a solid game. And it does have an expansive universe, and I feel like for what it is, it might not be the best game of the year, but it is definitely a solid game that came out this year.
Yeah, I have to agree with it. It's solid. It's nothing like mind-blowing, like where the hype was at, but it's solid.
Yeah, I think it's solid enough to make the 10th spot.
Yeah. Okay, number 9. Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I got this when did it come out? June? I got this right after I quit my job. So it has a special place in my heart. I remember getting it and having friends come over, and we all played Mario Kart, and we had a good time. And that's probably like the last multiplayer, like local multiplayer experience with a group of people I've had since then. I haven't had one. So, it's kind of like, it's nothing too mind-blowing as well. It's Mario Kart. It's what you expect, but everything's done fine. So there's no complaining, but it's just fun kart racing. You can't get any better.
Alright, so my number 9, also kind of a shocker, is going to be Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason being is that after Call of Duty...
You're getting paid to say this.
I wish, but after Call of Duty kind of had a bad rep, building up on it.
Yeah.
And this game came out, and I have to admit that it's not the best. It's not the best Call of Duty or anything, but it is fun. It is different. The campaign has Kevin Spacey. I mean, it was enjoyable. I enjoyed my time playing the game, and I can't say that for the last couple of Call of Duties, that's for sure. And I haven't even purchased the last couple of Call of Duties, so this was kind of an improvement on something that could have died out really easily.
I gotta agree with that. I don't think it's mind-blowing. I keep on saying that.
Yeah.
But it's better than the previous couple.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely an improvement.
Number 8 for me is Broken Age Act 1. This was the first game of the year I played, or new release I played, I believe. It's the first Kickstarter I have ever backed from Double Fine, and it's a point-and-click adventure game. I found the dialogue to be hilarious. This was during a moment of my life where I was working a crappy job, working tons of hours, living a depressing life, and this game helped break that up a little, made me laugh. I loved playing through it. I don't know when Act 2 is coming out, and I hope it comes out soon. And it kind of looks like it might not come out for a long time, but I'm looking forward to it. I had a great time with the first act.
I wish you'd call me Mom, sweetie.
I wish you called me Captain Computer.
Okay, Captain Sweetie, let's get down to business. We are currently tracking multiple developing crises that need urgent attention.
So my number 8 is Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Now, this came out pretty much only a month or so ago, and I have to admit this was pretty hyped for me because I loved the original Binding of Isaac, and the Rebirth edition is pretty much just a really big update and a graphics overhaul and programming overhaul because they switched from using Flash animation and that programming to actual like programming graphics into the game so they can handle a lot more. And the game was actually really solid. I had a lot of fun with it. Unfortunately, I bought it and I actually pre-ordered it on Steam, and then PlayStation Plus got it for free. And I was like, oh, great, now I have 2 copies of the game. But at least it was enjoyable.
One better?
What? Was one better? I kind of actually enjoyed playing with the PS4 controller, so much so that I tried to install the PS4 controller support onto my computer because I preferred playing the game with a PS4 controller, which kind of sounds weird. But it was good.
I would rather play with a controller.
Yeah, it was a lot more responsive and stuff than a keyboard, which I was used to. So it was kind of revolutionary in that way as well.
Number 7 for me is Little Big Planet 3.
Oh man.
It is good. The campaign was a little short, but the amount of it had the best level creator tutorial I've ever played through. The amount of stuff you can make with it is incredible. And the main campaign was great as well. I remember the last level being one of the most exciting last levels I've played in quite a bit. Where the last level you get so pumped and then you beat it and you're like, hooray, hooray, I beat it.
Yeah.
Which these days, I feel like I play so many games, I beat it, and I'm like, okay, that was it. Time to write a review or something, and then I move on from it. But Little Big Planet 3 had that ending that felt like it made an impact, like it was exciting.
How did you feel about the new additions of different characters?
I liked them. I liked being able to switch between them, gave new ways of playing through each level. Though, I wish there was more levels where there was the use of each character, but what you gonna do? Because each chapter was based on one character at a time, and then it was like the final chapter where they all come together.
Well, I just want to put a little disclaimer out there that I have not played Little Big Planet, so that is why it is not appearing on my list. But just putting that out there.
It probably would have if you played it.
Yeah, it probably would have made it, as well as some other games you're probably going to mention. And I want to mention the same thing, vice versa. Nick hasn't played many of the games I have on my list, so if you
I'll point them out.
Yeah, if you just want to mention them, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Ooh, unusually graceful and precise movements for a novi. A lot of sack folk end up knocking something over. Or someone. You show promise.
So, my number 7, speaking of games Nick probably hasn't played, is Banished.
Yeah.
Now, I was kind of reluctant to put it on this list because I've talked about this before on our podcast that I have a real deep love-hate relationship with this game. I've put in way too many hours to say I don't like it, but I hate it that I have put so many hours into it. I don't know how many hours I'm at right now, but I know it's more than 30, And I'm just not... God, it infuriates me that I put so much time and effort into this game. Because this game is just a city builder. That's all it is. As a city builder, your people are banished from a different land. You have to rebuild and create a new city. And it's kind of set in almost pioneer days, where you don't have very many technologies. You just have basically stone, iron, and food resources. So you can't really expand, can't really build an army or anything. You're just
What do you
building.
like about it?
I don't know. I don't know what I like
Get
about
this
it.
man a copy of Tropico. I've been trying to convince Quinn to get a copy of Tropico because Banish looks like Tropico, but Tropico looks way more fun.
Yeah,
I love Tropico.
I've been looking into Tropico and I've been looking into SimCity, and I'm just like, why? Why is this game taking so much of my life away? I don't understand. And I think it's probably because it's actually really hard, and it's fairly easy to lose. And I think I tend to like games that force you to get better in order to enjoy it more. Mm-hmm. And because I'm starting to get really good where I have towns of 300 people, I'm enjoying it a lot more than I would perhaps like a SimCity, where it's really easy to do this and that and the other thing. So that's why it's my number 7.
Okay, number 6 for me is Hyrule Warriors. Classic Zelda and Link stuff. It's the first Zelda game where I played it and I was like, this is so... No, it's not. I take that back, because every Zelda game I'm like, oh, this is badass. But this is like the first Zelda game where I'm like just beating up guys left and right, and I'm just like, I'm a badass. Link is such a badass. Zelda is such a bad. All the characters are such bad. The music was like classic Zelda music, of course, but it was like more upbeat and badass. I just remember like a lot of people are like, oh, it's repetitive. Mm-hmm. I didn't get that feeling at all. Like, I had a blast throughout the entire thing. I was just like beating up guys, running to the next area to capture it. You got a plan where you're gonna capture and what you gotta do. You gotta pay attention to the map. You got all this stuff to pay attention to. It doesn't get repetitive. I just love beating up guys and using all these different moves as classic Zelda characters.
And have you played any of the Dynasty Warrior franchise?
I have not, but now I do. I hear they're similar, and now I want to play them.
All right, coming up on number 6 for me is Shovel Knight. Oh yeah, so this game is phenomenal. I'm actually surprised I haven't put it higher up on my list, just because how perfect this game is. I can't find anything wrong. It is perfect in every way, shape, and form. So it is a 2D platformer with like bosses and stuff. And music's great, pixel art's great, combat's great, mechanics are great. Everything is great about this game. The bosses are great. It's so amazing. It is one of the perfect games to have come out in the last 5 years. It should be like an example for people who want to make a 2D platformer that lives up to any greatness. They should make it like Shovel Knight, because it is amazing. It is an amazing game, and one of the other reasons I like it, and this is kind of a theme with some of my games on this list, is that it rewards you for getting better at the game. And it kind of is like Dark Souls in some senses, where they have a mechanic where you die, all of your money is left in that same spot where you died. So if you get back to that same spot on the level, you can recollect your money and continue on your way and go buy some stuff. But if you die again, all that money is gone. So very interesting mechanically, very interesting in terms of just a game that can come out and be this good. I am so surprised about how good Shovel Knight is. Definitely check it out if you're interested in 2D platformers at all. And that's why it's at number 6.
My number 5 is South Park: The Stick of Truth. And this, I mentioned before with Broken Age, it came out during a period of my life where I needed laughter and I needed help. I don't know what the right word is.
I don't know if that's the best way to put it.
But South Park: The Stick of Truth was there to help me get through that tough time. And the script was hilarious, of course, because the people from South Park were working with the people with the game. It came out perfectly, I think. One of the best RPGs, like kind of like that classic style of RPG, is turn-based. Like you would like an Final Fantasy type of fighting way, and you could there's loot. There was this, and it was so funny. That's what I like about it. It was so funny, and I was laughing. And I remember before it came out, someone was streaming it, and I started watching it, and I started laughing uncontrollably. And I was like, I gotta stop watching this stream because I want to experience this myself. I need this game now. And then I played through it. Hilarious. I recommend it. That's why it's at number 5.
You'll like it here. The air is fresh, and there's always something to do to take your mind off things you wish had never happened.
Alright, so my number 5 is a game that didn't make it onto Nick's top 10,
Aw.
but it is Lethal League.
How do you know it's not on my top 10?
Oh, it might be your number 1, and I would be so upset.
Rally on!
Rally on!
Show me your moves!
Exactly, but Lethal League is my number 5. I've put so much time into this game, and despite it having severe network problems, I won't lie, the network problems are really bad. And if you try and play with anyone for a couple of games, eventually the game's just going to crash, or it's going to kick you both out of the servers, and it's going to be sad. But
that's why it's not on my top 10.
Yeah, it definitely...
I can't reward the game for something so simple that should be fixed right away. Instead, they're adding new costumes and whatnot, and carry on.
Yeah, Nick's going to get pissy about it. But Lethal League, I think, is just really, really good, at least for me. And I think it's because I haven't really been able to play the Super Smash Bros. Games or really get into fighting games, but Lethal League kind of changes that a little bit and makes it about not really fighting each other, but more about positioning, and you're trying to hit a ball and trying to hit the ball to hit the other person. And I think it's just really interesting. It's kind of fresh because it came out and I was able to jump into it when everyone else was. So I kind of could learn things that people were also learning at the same time, and kind of kept up with being competitive and actually able to do work in the multiplayer, even though it's kind of crashing all the time. And I don't know, I really enjoy the game. Even when I'm not playing with anyone, I still enjoy just like hitting the ball around and trying new things, or going against the bots and stuff like that. Like, I just enjoy it so much. And it's one of those games that if I have 5 minutes, I'll just open it right away, play a game, and be done with it. Or if I have 5 hours, I will still open it, play all the entire time, and just like drop it. And it's like really easy to just pick up and play. So that's why I just love it so much. I just love it. Wait.
Follow me. Oddworld New and Tasty at number 4.
Oh my god.
Trying to trick you there.
You did.
I've been waiting for this game to come out. I love Oddworld for the PS1, the games that came out on PS1, and I've been waiting for this remake / new like remastered version of it for so long, and they did such a great job on it. And the puzzles were new, and I'm just like, this game is so awesome. I love controlling Abe, and I think it's one of the greatest puzzle platformer games of all time, the Oddworld series. That's a big claim, but it's one of the best. It's not played that much. Like, it's well known in the community, but outside the community, it didn't get a lot of people playing it, and it should have. And I'm trying to get people to play it. People, I don't know. So you should definitely play it. It's that good.
Do you think it lives up to the other games?
The first two?
Yeah.
I'm comparing it to the first two because it's just like the first two. The third one and the fourth one and the other ones are kind of different, but it does live up. It's just the graphics are nice. It's still like the same story almost, but it's just new puzzles and new ways to interact, and so I'm glad it came out.
Coming in at my number 4 is Dragon Age Inquisition. So this was one of the few AAA games I was actually able to play this year, and I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. We mentioned earlier before that JonTron said something about this game and was kind of negative about it, but at the same time, I've heard this game get Game of the Year awards, so everyone's ideas of the game are kind of varied. Now, the reason why it's as my number 4 spot is because this game is huge. I've put 10 hours into this game, and I've probably only completed 10%, maybe 15%, and it's just so large and expansive, and I believe part of that draws because the game feels like an MMO, except you're playing by yourself with your party of party members. So it's very interesting how it plays, and you can swap between members of your party and play as them. So if you want to play as a mage this level, you can switch to your mage in your party. If you want to play as a warrior, you can switch to your warrior. If you want to switch to anyone and any class and any build, you can just do it at any given time. And each consecutive mission makes you stronger, gets you more loot, you're able to unlock more stuff and build more stuff, and it's very expansive, and that's what I really like, is just how much content is in this world that they created. And I know the previous Dragon Ages have gotten a lot of flack because they've just been uncontrollable in terms of using a controller. It's unplayable, it's just terrible, and I feel like this game is the vision they set out to do way back when Dragon Age 1 came out. I mean, it's a solid game. Character customization is beyond good. You have customization of skills and classes with other characters, and you get to really try out a lot of different things. You have your own story you get to create. You get to pick choices and how you want to go about different events. If there's someone holding down a fort and keeping captives, you can either send in scouts to go in and try and get the captives away, send in your whole army to get the captives away, or you can go in yourself and try and fend off and save the captives. So it's very interesting, the choices you have, and it makes you feel powerful as the game goes on because you get more and more people by your side, you get a larger and larger army, and more ways to decide how you want to progress. So I feel like it's very expansive, very awesome, a lot of fun if you're into RPGs, and if you're not, well, I'm sorry.
Oh, I get to bring this one up first. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor.
Oh,
number
snap.
3. It's good. Jump around.
Jump
beat up
around.
Smeagol.
Oh my god.
Get to beat up Smeagol. No, that doesn't happen. Well, maybe it does. I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh man.
But, yeah, Shadow of Mordor, Quinn's going to agree. We've talked about this many times. It's a complete surprise. Didn't even, I remember it came out, and we were like, Quinn's like, it's got good reviews! We have to get it! Mm-hmm. And then I found a deal on it. I got it. I tried to convince Quinn to get it right then, and he was like, I don't know, I don't got the money. But then he ended up getting it anyways, and he totally agreed with me. It's also the first game I ever streamed the entire thing.
Yeah.
I had a blast with it. I love capturing stuff. I like beating up orcs. Some of the story missions were kind of slow at times, but overall the game was really great, and I really enjoyed playing through it.
Well, also you said it is one of the games you've actually spent more than a couple hours playing. You just got so involved in streaming it and stuff, you would stay up and play the game and have a good time. So I found that kind
I
of
gotta agree. I was the type of gamer until just recently where I'd play an hour and then I'd be like, I'm gonna take a break, come back to it later. Even sometimes if the game was really good, I'd do like 2 hours. And then I'm like, I need a break, I'll play it later, whatever. And then I'd play it in hour increments. Shadow of Mordor I just got into and I like would play 4 hours at a time and I beat it in like 4 playthroughs, I believe, maybe 3. And then from there on, I was just like, I can now, I don't know what it was, but I can play games for 3 to 4 hours. I don't pay attention to time as much anymore. I don't know why that happened, but I'm glad it did because I've always wanted to do that. But I just had that like part of me that wasn't motivated, I guess you could say, to play more than 2 hours. I'd be like, that's enough. Yeah, calm down. I'm the same way with movies and TV though too. Like, I can't watch more than 2 hours of a movie at a time. Like 2 hours is pushing it. So I gotta thank Shadow Mordor for helping me out.
Alright, unfortunately, my number 3 isn't Shadow of Mordor, and is in fact Hearthstone. Now, this is debatably, a game that came out this year, or came out last year, because it's been in beta for a long time, and it actually was officially released this year, so I'm including it. Now, I also included it last year.
Yeah.
But the thing that
ruining the list.
The thing that made Hearthstone stand out was that a couple weeks ago, me and Nick were going to play Scrolls, and Mojang actually gave me a free copy for streaming the game, for streaming the demo, so they gave me a free copy, and it was a good time. But I've been playing it. I've been playing Scrolls ever since they gave it to me, and I've been realizing over and over again how amazingly crafted Hearthstone is for a collectible card game to be played online. Not even just online, just to be played on your computer or on a tablet or anywhere. Hearthstone is so beautifully crafted. So it's so amazing the ease of use Hearthstone provides in terms of opening decks or opening packs, in playing campaign missions, in playing online people, in playing ranked, in crafting cards, in everything, in every aspect. Hearthstone is so beautiful compared to games like Scrolls and compared to like the Magic the Gathering games, because even though I admit Hearthstone is not nearly as complicated as either of those games, it brings the collectible card game feel to my computer or to my tablet, and eventually it's coming to phones. So it's bringing that environment to anyone who wants it. With Scrolls, I kept having the problem of they're trying to put a complicated card game like Magic the Gathering, except I would say Scrolls is actually a little bit more complicated than Magic the Gathering, and they're trying to put it in this space that isn't concise or clear, and there's a bunch of tabs that don't make sense, and nothing really makes sense in terms of the game. And it just made me think of how amazing Hearthstone is, and for it to be a free-to-play game. And Scrolls is not a free-to-play game, and neither is Magic the Gathering. So I just feel like Blizzard gets an extra A+ from me this year, and Hearthstone's number 3.
I like Hearthstone too. What I like about Hearthstone is I don't have to be an expert to beat Quinn.
Oh, great.
Quinn plays it all the time, and then I play it like once and still beat him.
Oh, great.
So, like, I have a fighting chance, is what I'm saying. Like, he's beaten me too. Don't get me wrong, but there's a fighting chance I have. It's not like, oh, I've played this game for 50 hours. You have no chance. It's a card game, and card games are part skill and part luck. Yeah. And that's how it should be, I think. I think it should be like that. And that's what I find fun about Hearthstone. Like, I don't go into Hearthstone being like, oh, there's no way I'm going to win. Like I do with, like, Lethal League. But I go into Hearthstone and be like, I actually have a chance. And I'm actually going to try to figure out how to, really play. Well, Lethal League, the ball's bouncing all everywhere, and it's like, oh, crap.
You're going to try and figure out how to humiliate Quinn on his stream, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
Well, you do all of it by yourself. You're like, what?
Yeah.
How are you winning?
Yeah, I freak out because I can't believe, like, I've spent so much time and invested so much time into getting, like, these cool cards and stuff, and then you just come in with, like, a default deck or something and kill me. And I'm like, great.
I like my warrior deck.
Yeah, Nick has not played anything but warrior against me.
I played them all, but warrior's my favorite.
Oh, God.
Number Dos. Borderlands, the pre-sequel. You know it was going to be on here.
Oh, man. I'm disappointed.
What a crap list. No, I love the Borderlands series. I don't keep it a secret. Borderlands 2. What was Borderlands 2 on last year's list? When did that come out?
I don't know. I think it actually came out 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. I love Borderlands 2. I love all Borderlands stuff. And this didn't disappoint. Like, a lot of people are like, it's not a full Borderlands game. True. I put more time into Borderlands 2. I think I put 40 to 50 hours in Borderlands 2, while Borderlands, the pre-sequel, I put 20 hours into, and I haven't beat it. I'm on the last boss, and it's pretty tough for me. So I'm still working on it, but I've had so much fun with it. And I love the characters. I love everything about it. I like collecting loot. I think it's like the best loot game for me, because the guns are awesome. I love the guns in Borderlands. So, and my character's a badass. She's like this Western girl. Law something. I forget the title of the character, but I love Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
So, Shadow of Mordor is on my list. It is number 2.
Nice.
And I'm thinking we have a little bit more time to talk about it here because, this way we can actually have a little bit of a discussion. But
all right,
I definitely agree with what you had to say. Shadow of Mordor came out of nowhere. There was no hype on this game because Destiny was coming out. So no one even cared about Shadow of Mordor. And then when it came out, and Nick had the chance to play, and I got to see what it was all about, I played it, and it was amazing. The controls are just spot on. It plays like a mix of Batman and Assassin's Creed, and even Assassin's Creed can't do that right sometimes.
Yeah.
So it was just like spot on, controlled so well. And the thing that actually made the game so much better than the rest of the stuff that came out this year was the inclusion of the Nemesis system, where the AI around you isn't just like AI. They have their own like way of thinking. They connect to you in certain ways. If someone kills you while you're playing the game, they'll actually be promoted and their status will be upped, and their name will get like more complicated and have more orcish verbs and stuff. But like the enemies grow with you, and essentially you could just play the game without actually completing the story and get this full experience of the system they incorporated into the game. And that's
it's impressive.
It is really impressive. I mean, I spent the first 12 hours not touching the campaign because I was just having so much fun killing these orcs and having them kill me, and then I'll have like certain one kill me more times so it gets more powerful, so I'll have like a harder chance of actually killing him in a battle. And some orcs will like band together, and war chiefs will band together, and captains will band together, and eventually when you get into the game far enough, you can see how complicated it can get because you can actually manipulate the system in the game, and it just
that was awesome.
It's such a good game. No one has it, buy it. It's
you
probably
can ride Caragor things.
Yeah, you can ride Caragors. You can ride the big troll thingies. I don't know what they're called, but my God,
Trollmen.
My god, is this game awesome. And also, something pretty cool that I didn't notice until later in about like hour 20 probably, was that it has a screenshot system. So when you're actually like cutting off the head of an orc, you can go into the screenshot system and you can actually see how pretty this game is. It looks really good. And I've like made some screenshots and I'm like, wow, I would put this as the background of my computer. This is like really good looking. Like not because of me, but because the game engine is like just so really fantastic. It just looks really amazing, and you should buy this game.
I agree.
Hey! Listen to the sound of my horn. It's the sound of impending doom. The sound of your death.
Okay, before we do our number one, we're gonna do a little recap of 10 through 2, and then we'll do 1, and I'll start. My number 10 was Costume Quest 2, 9 was Mario Kart 8, 8 was Broken Age Act 1, 7, Little Big Planet 3, 6, Hyrule Warriors, 5, South Park The Stick of Truth, 4, Oddworld New and Tasty, 3, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, and number 2 was Borderlands the pre-sequel.
And then the 10 through 2 on my list was 10 was Destiny, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was number 9, Binding of Isaac Rebirth was number 8, Banished was number 7, Shovel Knight number 6, Lethal League number 5, Dragon Age Inquisition number 4, Hearthstone was number 3, and Shadow of Mordor was number 2.
Alright, you know this one, Quinn.
I know it.
Yeah, you know it. It's Far Cry 4. I've been trying so hard not to talk about this game and hype it so people are like, oh, that's his number 1. But like people kept asking me about it. That's the crazy thing. Like, I see that Far Cry 4 is awesome. Have you played it, Nick? And it's like, yes,
yeah, I've played it.
It's amazing. I think it has one of the best game maps I've ever seen in a game.
Really?
It's so beautiful. There's so much going on, so many caves to explore, so many things to see, so many things to do. Great story. Great. I don't know what else to say. People are like, oh, it's just like Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 was awesome as well. What's the problem? It built on Far Cry 3. I think. I feel like there's more to do, and the map's better. And the Far Cry 3 story was alright. There was parts to it that were really good, and then some of the parts is like, okay, let's calm down here. But Far Cry 4 has, I think, a great story. I love it, and I played it last night again. I got back into it because I had to take a break from it to play other games. But I think I'm like 25 hours into it, and I'm like 2/3 done the game. So I have a good chunk left. Yesterday I finally climbed all the radio towers and got the map all cleared up. Now I got to work on not checkpoints, like fast travel places and completing the main story. But so good. It has this cool thing with the driving that I've never seen. Maybe you've seen it, but I haven't seen it. I think of. You're in a car and you have like a waypoint. You can press L3, I believe it is, or it's R3. It's one of those. And the car will automatically drive for you. So if you need to focus on shooting a car next to you, you can do that, but your car will drive slower. So if you're in control, you can drive a lot faster. But if it's automatic, you can concentrate on other things while not having to work. I thought that was really cool. You don't have to do that, but I just think it's a cool feature. That's why Far Cry 4, I can't wait to keep playing it. It's so good.
Well, let me throw in a little disclaimer here. I
overhyping it.
I haven't played this game, okay, but yeah, if I had, it would definitely be near top 1 for sure. It'll be near this area, and I want to say that you surprised me so much because you didn't talk about the game at all. So I thought it was going to be like 4 or 3 on your list, and I didn't realize you enjoyed it this much, and that's like really awesome how well you hit it.
Yeah, I tried my best. Like in podcasts, it's like, oh, what have you been playing this week? And it's like Far Cry 4, it's good.
Yeah, that's like all you said. It was like it's good. It's good. It's like Far Cry 3. You know, it's good. You know, nothing amazing, but it's good. And then, yeah, I was like, oh man, you know, I had Far Cry 4 hyped up in my brain for so long since like the original trailers, and then Nick's just saying it's good. Maybe he's not gonna have it like near his 1, 2, or 3 spots. Maybe it's gonna be like 4 or 5. So, bravo to you.
It's good. Like, the hunting in it is awesome. You can craft things. You could hunt in the third one as well. But there's so many animals to hunt and craft stuff. You loot, so much loot to collect and sell, and so many guns. Wow. It's just so good.
Oh, wow. I can't even. It's too good.
Though I did have trouble. Borderlands, the pre-sequel, was almost as good as Far Cry 4. I should say that because I didn't like get excited. I didn't say Borderlands as excited as I did with Far Cry.
Yeah.
But like Borderlands, I've been saying it was great this entire time, so it's like kind of out of my system. Mm-hmm. But Far Cry 4, I haven't been able to talk about because I knew.
Yeah.
And yesterday we were streaming, and Brent, one of our followers, asked about Far Cry 4, and I was like, it's good.
Yeah, and I think Calman asked too later. So
yeah. Well, now you guys know I love it, so I can talk about it freely now, and that's really nice to get that off my chest.
All right, here it is, Nick. Here it is. What do you guess it is?
I'm trying to think of what games you've played this year, and the only thing I can come up with is Goat Simulator.
Oh my god.
That must be your number one.
It has to be my number one.
It has to be.
It's actually Dark Souls 2.
Oh, yeah.
Dark Souls 2 came out beginning of the year.
Makes
March,
sense.
And I actually completely forgot about it until we started going over this list, because I forgot that it actually came out this year, because it feels like it's been out for so long to me, and like it feels like it's in the past, and I'm waiting for the new one. I'm waiting for Bloodborne to come out and all this other stuff, and they announced Dark Souls 2 is like being re-released. And
yeah, I feel bad for the early games, like South Park and Broken Age were early, and it's like, oh yeah, that came out this year.
Yeah.
Seems so long ago.
Exactly. And I knew I had to put Dark Souls up here close to number one. And because I hadn't played Far Cry 4, I have to give it to Dark Souls 2. It's so good. It is so good. And the problem is that it's not so good to everyone. And I'm a little concerned how you're going to take it, because today...
I just got it yesterday.
Yeah, we both just bought it.
I haven't played it yet.
We both just bought it. I'm trying to get Nick to play with me so that hopefully he can enjoy it as much as I do. But this game it's so good. And there are people who argue that the first one's better than the second one and vice versa. But this game improves upon controls from Dark Souls 1. Tons of weapons, tons of like different spells, tons of different hexes, tons of different miracles, tons of different levels, tons of everything. And I do have to admit, it's not as concise and well put together world as the first one, but I've spent over 200 hours in this game, and I can't believe how good it was. I was addicted. I got it the first day. I had 24 hours in the game by the second day I played it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I even like posted something like I posted a video, and I just like showed my game time, and it was like 24 hours exactly. And I was so obsessed with this game, and I constantly think about it too. I'm like, oh man, I should probably set up my PS3 and play Dark Souls 2. I need to play more of that game because it's just too good.
How many times have you bought it? 3 times now?
Yeah, I own 3 copies of the game, and
dedication.
It's just too good. And I'll probably buy the newer version whenever it comes out, or hopefully there'll be an expansion for PC where you just update to the newer version.
Yeah.
But oh my god, I just love this game. It means so much to me, Nick. as
It looks fine. I've watched Let's Plays of it, and you sent me the extra credit video they did on it about the difficulty on it, and it looks good. Like, I'm excited to play. It doesn't seem like the type of game where, like, I didn't get it earlier because it's the type of game that I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay $60 for this. Mm-hmm. Like, if it's hard games, especially games where they're, like, bragging about how hard it is,
yeah.
kind of worry me because I'm the type of gamer where if I feel like it's unfair, I'm not going to sit there for days working on one part. Like, I have so many games that I could be playing. I'm fine with difficulty. And if the game is fun, I'll keep playing it until I beat that part. But if the game's not fun, I'm not going to stick with it. That's just who I am.
Yeah.
That's the type of gamer I am.
And that's definitely like the boundary for a lot of people, especially with the first Dark Souls. There was this area called New Londo, I believe. Maybe I'm just forgetting, but I believe it was called New Londo. No, it wasn't called New Londo. But anyways, there was an area where you could get to, and when you got to this area, you pretty much have spent 20-something hours. And you had to fight these two bosses simultaneously. And they were pretty much the hardest bosses in the game. And if you got to this point, and if you beat these bosses, you felt accomplished. And these are the people that enjoyed the game and praised the game because they beat these two bosses, felt like $1,000,000, and went on to play the game. If you couldn't get past these two bosses, you were like, screw this, it's unfair, it's too hard, I don't want to play this anymore. And that was the problem with the first one, where you couldn't... It felt sometimes impossible to get past something. Luckily, there's always the co-op where you can invite, or not really invite, but you summon someone into your world to help you progress. And oh my god, I'm just like, I can't wait. I can't wait to get this video over with so we can play the game.
Yeah, I like hard games where you feel accomplished. Like, I always bring this up, Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
But when I beat that, I was just like, this is such a good feeling right now.
Yeah.
That I haven't really had in a long time because because when I was young, I didn't have that many games. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of not stuck, like, as a bad thing, but I was stuck with the games I had. So if there was a hard part, I had to just suffer and spend hours on it. Now I have tons of game I can choose from. So I'm kind of a different gamer now that I'm older. But Super Meat Boy, I was like, this is too fun. I gotta beat this. And a lot of people gave up and never made it to the end. So I understand. I kind of see where you're coming from with Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's that exact same feeling. Super Meat Boy was really good design-wise. It was, like, amazingly good.
Yeah.
But not many people beat it. So if you did beat it, you felt like, you could appreciate the game more for what it was.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt when I beat Dark Souls 2 after, like, the millionth time or whatever. But, like, after I beat it, I just felt like these 100 hours I put into the single character were worth it to me. Like, it just felt so good. So, hopefully you feel the same.
Yeah. There you have it. That's the list.
That's them 20 games for y'all.
Yeah. What do you guys think? You better comment below saying what your favorites are.
Yeah, I want to hear
complain that I
everyone's
didn't
top
have
10.
Super Smash Bros. On here.
At least give a top 5 or give any
give us
idea.
a top 1. Give us a top anything.
But that's our
the
opinions.
list. So make sure you follow my Quinn at Mr. Breaded Chicken on YouTube and follow me on YouTube. You're already here, so click subscribe. And follow us on Twitter, where I'm posting more on Twitter. Quinn avoids that, but
I'm not a
follow him
tweeter.
anyways.
And more importantly, go check out our podcast.
Yeah,
Me and Nick have a podcast. We talk about things. We talk about games. We talk about life.
we talk about Chief.
Also on Twitch, we do the same stuff, but live. So
Quinn freaks out, sings really loudly.
I'm sorry. All right, I get excited.
He complains about everything. It's a good time.
It is a good time. So
Quinn gives me advice
And then I don't take the advice.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
It's what we want. And there's no webcam, so you don't have to look at our goofy faces.
Yeah.
So that could change one day. You
Yeah,
never know.
Nick got a green screen.
I might have got a green screen. So, I don't know. So, thank you. Good day.